10 little known things about the little couple. Hey guys, welcome back to the stars, and in today's video we will be going over 10 little known things about the little couple. If you do enjoy today's video, be sure to slap a like on it and subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on. And without further ado, let's get into the video. The couple has had over 50 surgeries between them. Some were even emergencies for treating medical concerns brought about by the conditions. Most of the world cannot comprehend what it is like to live with dwarfism, but with the show we've had a sneak peek. Bill and Jen were only glad to feature their differences in their own show, The Little Couple, to educate people on dwarfism. Number 10. Jen was operated on by a famous doctor. Dr. Jennifer Arnold, who is a neonatologist, is no stranger to hospitals. Because of a skeletal dysplasia condition, she spent a better chunk of her childhood in hospital receiving treatment for various ailments. According to ScreenRant.com, Jen had 22 surgeries before she was 18, and the number has continued to go up. One of her successful surgeries was somewhat special. Jen was lucky to be in the hands of one of the best neurosurgeons in the world, the famous Dr. Ben Carson. Jen had to go under the knife to have a cervical spine fusion at just 2 years old, which means she cannot recall much. Number 9. Jen facing discrimination. As if facing a series of surgeries while still young was not enough, Jen had to face discrimination firsthand when she was applying for college. According to therichest.com, Jen had hopes of studying at the University of Miami, but her interviewers had a problem with her height, since she was less than 4 feet tall. It was a bad thing to do, frankly, and no one should ever have to go through such an experience. Fortunately, Johns Hopkins Medical School opened its doors for her. She started her journey towards becoming a neonatologist and never looked back. Jen is glad she never took that minor setback to heart. Number 8. Bill Klein was picked on when he was younger. Bill Klein, who is famous for his uplifting outlook on life, was not always positive. Just like other normal kids who are smaller than average, Bill was also picked on a lot in his childhood. The big kids did not understand dwarfism and therefore had a habit of teasing those they saw different from them. The mocking only got worse as he got older. Other students called Bill all kinds of names, and when he was in college, the ill treatment really took a toll on him. According to KiwiReport.com, he was very unhappy and had dangerous thoughts. Thankfully, he managed to get himself out of that dark period, and he is now happily married with 2 kids. Number 7. Bill and Jen's brief meeting as kids. Even in bad situations, good things can still happen. Couple Bill and Jennifer had the opportunity of meeting each other long before they determined they were soulmates. According to NewRavel.com, when they were 10 years old, Bill spotted Jen in the hospital, where they were both recovering from separate surgeries. They never spoke to each other, and Jen does not have any recollection of that day, but Bill does. They later found each other online nearly 2 decades later. Prior to that, what was even funnier is that their friends had tried setting them up, but things did not work out between them. Eventually, true love found its way. Number 6. Surrogacy did not work for them. Bill and Jen now have 2 adopted kids, William and Zoe, whom they love very much. However, adoption was their very last resort. Given their condition, the 2 struggled to get pregnant. Jen lost numerous pregnancies prematurely, so the couple decided to try having their own biological child via surrogacy, before settling for adoption, as stated by therichest.com. As if losing multiple pregnancies was not enough, their surrogate lost their baby before term. Bill had to tell his wife the heartbreaking news while she was still at work. From then on, the 2 decided to stop trying other methods and opted for adoption, which gave them their 2 greatest joys. Number 5. The show had a lot of staged events. The Klein/Arnolds have always kept some of their life away from the cameras, and because of that, a lot of special celebrations like dinners, anniversaries, and birthdays are staged because the family initially celebrates alone in private and then have to repeat it for the cameras. While a good chunk of it is real, the producers come up with many scenes for the sake of entertainment. According to List.com, Jen does not consider any celebrations in front of the cameras as real celebrations, as much as they get to double the fun. Nevertheless, the occasions themselves are legit, it is only the presentation that is staged. Number 4. Cameras were initially not allowed to follow Jen at work. Before Bill and Jen moved to Florida, they used to live in Houston, Texas. Jen used to work as a neonatologist in the Texas Children's Hospital. When the show started filming, the crew and production team had a hard time following Jen at her workplace. In fact, the hospital was reluctant to allow them complete access for a while. According to List.com, in an interview with Glamour magazine, Jen said they were hesitant because the hospital had a lot to lose and wanted to make sure that the show would paint them in a good light. After numerous meetings, the producers and the hospital came to an agreement. Number 3. Jen had a serious health scare. Jen has seen more than her fair share of hospital admissions. There was one time in particular when her situation was so alarming since she went through a series of premature birth losses owing to dwarfism. Soon afterward, doctors found out that she had a mass in her uterus, and Jen had to undergo surgery to remove it, as reported by TheRiches.com. After the surgery, she developed pneumonia, which complicated things further. Doctors diagnosed Jen with a rare cancer and she had to undergo chemotherapy. Fortunately, she recovered from all that and was given clearance by her doctors. This finally gave the family some peace of mind. Number 2. Their relationship has rules. Just like other couples, Bill and Jen have their own relationship struggles. In the show, the two appear to be a match made in heaven, but they have also had their fair share of relationship disagreements. When this happens, they have rules in place to guide them. According to NewRavel.com, some of these rules include after an argument, they can never go to bed mad at each other, so they have to resolve everything before they sleep. In addition, they have to share house chores and be considerate of whoever is more tired. And they have to communicate, since communication is very important in their marriage. Number 1. They had to custom make their kitchen. When the couple moved from Houston to Florida, they had to buy a new home. But unfortunately, most house designs do not consider people with dwarfism. Nevertheless, they bought a beautiful mansion, and even though it had a nice kitchen, they had to renovate it. The kitchen for them was the hardest room to maneuver because of their height challenge, and so they decided to custom make everything in it, otherwise everyday chores would have been a nightmare. According to an interview with People TV, Bill confessed that in their previous homes they have had to deal with the stove's fire burning at eye level and water dropping down to their arms while washing dishes because their sinks were too high. Which fact on this list shocked you the most? Be sure to let us know in the comment section down below, as we always look forward to hearing your feedback.